Hiya folks, just doing a little review on my little Lexmoto FMS 125 scooter. Some of you are going to think, why do a review on one of them? Well, here's the deal. I've still got my Kawasaki that I use for my nice rides out on my motorbike when I'm going to have a holiday, weekend away, day in Wales, week on touring, whatever. But just over 12 months ago, I bought this in September 2016. So I've had it roughly about 15 months. And my reasoning behind it was I wanted something that I could use on a daily basis through the winter, that I want to fuss really about it getting to sort of crudded up, economical to run, so I could justify its existence and getting through the traffic and everything else. So I looked around, a lot of second-hand stuff on the market. I thought, meh, you don't know the history, you don't know how it's been treated and everything else, if it's been looked after or not, if you're going to have problems with it. Then you start looking at the brand new stuff. And some of the newer 125s, they start coming in at roughly about £2,500 into £3,000, and you just think, for a 125 scooter, just for a commuter, as a second bike, that's more than really what you want to pay. Hence, you start looking further, you come up across these little Chinese Lexmotos. Now when I bought this is the FMS, which I don't do anymore. It's the carburetted version of the new Titan that's out, which complies to the Euro 4, and that's your fuel injected, which is, I think, Lexmoto was starting to put on a lot of their units now. But in saying that, purchased this on the road. I had the top box fitted as well for around about 1,100 quid, with registration, top box, road tax, 2 years warranty as well. 2 years manufacturer's warranty you get with it. Now, for me, this is just a bit of a no-brainer. I've just been to the petrol station and filled it up. Okay, so I've used for 4 days to and from work. Done roughly 120 miles. £5.66 for 4 days. Travelling in and out of work. The roads I use to work, to get to and from work, are predominantly urban roads. So I'm sticking roughly between 30-40 mile an hour. And it's absolutely brilliant for stuff like this. Getting into, when you get towards the city as well, getting through the traffic. So much time. As I say, with the winter, this gets dirty, filthy with the salt and everything else, and I'll give it a good dose a couple of times with the old ACF 50 to keep the crud at bay. And it ain't doing too bad as far as wearing it. I've heard some people say, oh, they don't last very well, the Chinese. Well, I've got to say, this ain't doing too bad at all. Yeah, and I've been quite pleased with it. But the fuel economy, as I've said and I fill it up, is the thing that sells it. On the old dash there, you get the speedo, which is in kilometres, and the miles per hour are on the inside. They're a little bit smaller, but you do have to look a little bit harder to see how fast you're going. You got a fuel gauge, which is fairly accurate, and a rev counter. You got the instrumentation lights, your left and right indicator, and your main beam. Simples, no frills. Just below there you've got where the ignition key goes in, and there's a cubby hole for putting smaller bits and pieces in, which I don't tend to use, to be honest with you. There's the carrier bag hook, the curry hook, as people call it. And there's plenty under seat storage where the filler cap is underneath the seat. People are going to think, can you put a full face helmet in? To be honest with you, I don't know, so I've never tried it. You can put it in the top box at Lexmoto when I bought it, and I put it on the back. But I bought the top box because there are some days when I have to take a few change of clothes to work, towels and stuff if I'm using my push bike, cycling into work. So it is useful having the extra luggage space for that, but normally I don't tend to run with the top box on. I just put everything straight under the seat, and it's enough. My sandwiches and bits and pieces, perhaps I'll change your clothes, might change a towel. Enough room. So there you go. On the whole, there ain't like you can really fault with it if you're looking for something that's value for money. Unfortunately, as I say, they don't make these anymore, and you got to look at the newer models, which I think are coming in around about 1,400 quid at today's prices, which is what, where are we at? December 2017. If you're a bit of a tall person like myself, the one thing that you do have to watch for is the throttle body cable on the right hand handlebar. What it is that you tend to sit with your knees splayed a little bit, and when you want to turn right at slower speeds you turn the bars back. Where the body cable comes out underneath, you can catch your knees a little bit, and it sort of makes you jump when you touch it, so just something to be careful of. Just either drop your knees down, pull them into the centre or something, or just shift your knee out of the way, and it works. It's a good little workhorse. Power, it's same as everybody else on the 125s. It's about 8 horsepower in it. Everybody else puts out, this is much the same. No, you can't really knock it for what it is. It's just a simple, cheap way getting to and from work. My journey that I do is 15 miles each way, 30 miles a day. As I say, 30s and 40s. I can do the nationals. I've done it once in the nationals. When you get to about 50 mile an hour, you're starting to get to the limits of what the engine would be happy with and the machine itself. But it's not very pleasant when you got cars coming past you that are getting a lick on. I just tend to stick to the urban roads, and for that, top draw. For those who are thinking about the power, here we go. This is a bit of a steep hill that I have to travel on my way to work. It's much nicer doing it on my scooter than it is on my push bike, I've got to admit. So just to give you an idea, the speed limit on this road is 40 mile an hour at the hill, and there's a roundabout halfway up and it tends to knock your speed off. As you can see now, I'm doing just under 40 and we're still climbing, it's doing okay. When I go around the roundabout it struggles to get up to 30, but it gets to 30 and it sits there for the rest of the climb, and about 2/3 of the way up, which isn't too far, the speed restrictions drops to 30, so you're back with everybody else. It copes, it manages, you know. If you was buying something, spending 16 grand on a super sports bike, you'd expect it to get up here a little bit quicker. A 1/16 of the price. You know, what can you say? It does the job. really does do the job. Here we go, 30 mile an hour, back with the traffic. There's only that few yards where it tends to struggle a bit where it needs to pick up, but doddle. And I've had that else like you say, really. It's just like it does everything that you want it to do. It's a fair price. Here we go, a bit of dual carriageway. We can, as you can see, keep up with the traffic at the best of times. It's starting to snow. It's starting to snow. Yippee! Look at it. Christmas tree, snowflakes. Christmas tree, snowflakes. Hey! Oh, look at this. Look at this. Snow coming down. Wow! Look at this lot! Whoa! Wow, that's coming down there, that is.